Welcome to What's in the Bag, where we give the voice to the voiceless and we let you say whatever is on your mind. My name is Marvina and I am your host. Hey, good morning. Come on in, y'all. Good morning. Welcome. Oh my God, I just want to say this morning, welcome. I just want to ask Jesus to come on in. I just want the Holy Spirit to come in this morning. I'm welcoming him in this morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another segment of Early Morning Coffee with Marvina and great conversation with my BFF and co-host, Yvonne. Good morning, y'all. It's been. I just got one question before I go. Before I start this, I'm just asking. Has it been a weird week? It's been like really. I don't know. It's been a really weird week, and I'm just like, okay, Lord. And I don't want to say what else because I don't know what else is. Sometimes when I say what else,
We're not even gonna put that in the atmosphere. Ooh, no.
Don't put that in the atmosphere.
No, ma'am.
It's like that's a long story. We're gonna leave that all alone. But in my cup this morning, I have some premium roasted coffee from McDonald's, that McDonald's one, and some caramel mocha latte. Mocha latte. I'm gonna get the word. And plenty of sugar. I've been needing plenty of sugar this morning. Yeah, I need some sugar this morning. So plenty of sugar today. And I'm enjoying this coffee this morning. Well, let me introduce to some and present to others. And of course, as you can see, she's always on the Grammy roll. She do her grandma thing. She's in there. She's always on it. That's my BFF, my friend. Good morning, BFF.
Good morning.
We ain't even. This is the first time we spoke this whole morning.
Yeah, exactly. This whole morning. Normally we hit the ground running. We worship and then we reach out to each other and just I'm trying to get that and be on time for what's in the bag. So this morning in my cup is some fresh aqua, some water. Truth being told, I'm naked. I'm emptying out my bag. Sugar levels are high. I'm having to do some, as some people have reached out and comment. I want to thank you guys for the comments and the well wishes relating to my eye. I do have lupus, and unfortunately for me, sometimes this is what lupus looks like. So my eye is affected right now. I'm having to do some steroid drops and some oral steroids, which push my sugar level up. So no coffee for me, water.
That's good stuff. Yeah, it's good stuff. You go ahead and drink your water because we ain't trying to go there with you. Hey everybody.
No.
We want you to be healthy. We got to keep that healthy, because a lot of people don't understand lupus. One thing I love about you in your walk, you don't allow that. Lupus don't have you. You have lupus. You allow every element to be a part of your life, but you don't let it be your life. And everybody don't understand. Sometimes when you have a what I'm gonna say a life issue or a life disease or whatever you want to call it, however you put it, you got to realize when you got something going on with your eye, go to the doctors. If your head is hurting, go to the doctors. If your heart is hurting, just go to the doctors. Make sure you stay on it. And I love that walk about you. She stays on it. And, She don't like, oh well, my stomach is hurting and my brain is, and my head is hurting today, and I'm just gonna lay down. You know, she have her days when she don't run, but majority of the time, she, you know, whatever the element is, she takes care of that element, and I think that's what makes it last longer. You pay attention to what your body is telling you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You run around here for 12, 13 days, come out your head hurt, you got an aneurysm up there, and it's telling you something, and you don't go to the hospital, you don't go to the doctors. You know, I'm bad witness to that.
Listen to your body. Time is, when your body is talking to you, time is of the essence.
Exactly.
And I make sure that I get to it. And some people say, oh, people got multiple personalities. I have multiple symptoms and issues. So you know what I do? When it's a new one, I say, come on in and let's get acquainted. That way I know about you, you know about me, then we can get on the same page, and we're gonna see how we're gonna work it, and we're gonna live together. And that is how you have to.
That is how you have to do that, lupus. Because one thing I realized about you, it ain't no. Well, until we talked about you. In the beginning, it was hard because we didn't understand it. It was like, oh my God, won't me?
Yeah.
Because I knew it was a lifestyle that you had to take, and I let her in the beginning when we tried to digest it. You know, that's my BFF, and I didn't want her to, you know, feel like I wasn't sympathetic to what she was going through. She went through, you know, it was hard.
Yeah.
She didn't have a name on it. She was running around here knowing she was sick, people thinking she was crazy. And I get it, you know, you don't know what's going on with yourself. But when they finally figured out what it was, you know, in the beginning, it was hard. Surgeries, this, that, and other. And I get it, you know, you was feeling some kind of way, but it got to the point where I knew this was going to be her lifestyle. And she got that. Well, I said, yo, we ain't gonna be me. We gonna go to these doctors. We gonna make sure we stay on it. You know, and it wasn't an I thing. I felt that if I stayed in her circle, you know, she'll have time to live. And you know, it's good to have a circle of people that's there for you and help you. You know, she can live. She don't have to live with this. So I commend you.
And I made those lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
Got rid of my convertible. I had convertible cars and everything. They said the sun is not my friend. I pushed the envelope and realized, and I'm gonna tell you something. When God trying to tell you something, don't listen. He will smack you on your butt and drop you dead upside your head until you get it. And once I did, things started to get a lot better.
I just had to say this. I want to give a shout out to my sissy Rhonda. You listening? You better be listening. I hope you want to hear her. You know, when your body tell you something, and she realized it yesterday. And you know, I want to give a shout out to her because I'm gonna go spend some time with her today.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. You know, I want to put my sister's business all out there and out of that, but she got a lot to be grateful for. And so is my whole entire family. You know, we're grateful. We're grateful today.
Yes.
Jesus.
If I could sing like my daughter, I'd break out in song.
Yeah. I guess for me, I'm still trying to come down off of that feeling, you know, knowing, you know, things can happen to anybody at any time. It's not even it's not an age, it's not, you know, and listening to your body and seeing things that's going on, you go ahead on and get some help. And that gives you a better chance, you know, and I'm grateful that my sister did that. And, you know, now she's in good spirits. And I love the fact that I can go and chill with her and talk with her and laugh with her. Because when you hear stuff bad come, like illness or whatever, first thing you think of, oh my God, oh, how is she going to fake it? And she going to be all right.
Yeah, you be like, is this the end? That song coming in my mind. When I say no,
right?
We're gonna pray. Before we even assess the situation, we're gonna pray. We are going to pray right where we are. I don't care about people looking. Come join the prayer. That's all I got to say, because we're gonna pray.
Because we're gonna pray. We're gonna get it out there and put up, and it helps, you know, to know that God is listening and you're in tune, and you know, you can channel into His grace and His mercy. I mean, just by talking to Him and getting together with one or two persons and just be in agreement with it, and He gets his attention, and then look at
you better say it.
Everything is all right. You wait on it and don't be
That's it.
made. That's what he told. I had to realize.
You put him first. That's all he wants. He wants you to put him first. Because by putting him first, that's putting him before your mama, your daddy, your sisters, your friends, the whole 9 yards. You immediately go into prayer and put him first.
Yes.
And allow him to take the lead.
Since we are talking about this, because, like I said, me and my BFF, we talk about a lot of stuff, especially about the Bible. We talk about God. We talk about our walk. We do inventory, our relationship with one another, our relationship with others. We talk. And, last week we had that guest on, Tamika Mitchell, and she was speaking her truth in her bag. And she was stating about all she knew church and going home. And then it was church, home, and work, and, church, home, in school, whatever. And I had to think about that. I said, you know what? I'm guilty of that. I know my life is just mostly church. I don't hang out. I just most of the time it's either church, home, or work. I love, and I get my feeding. And me and her was talking about this, and she said, Vina, we really need to talk about this conversation about church. And I was like, really, what people want to know about me and church, but then she was like, the way you see church and going to church is different than a lot of people do. And most of the times people look at church, they see people and they see hurt, they see disgust, they see where they not able to see themselves being a leader or on the front line, or they look at church as more as a business where people come and they do what they have to do. Maybe they worship, I don't know, and they leave. But for me, I have such a different outlook on church, because I remember the first day, I can remember being a kid at 8 years old when I met Jesus, when I met God, and my mother was there. Paul Morton came to our church, and I'll never forget it, and he sung Your Tears. And something came over me. I shouted that day. I'll never forget it. Oh my God, it made me go to tears. I cry about everything for y'all. And I knew then that, for some reason before that, as a kid, as I was growing up, because like I am a loner, I always knew a connection was there, but I never understood it until when I was 8. Liberty Baptist Church. And if anybody out there knows the Liberty, they understand we used to be a family there. It was a family thing. And I met God. I met Jesus. I met the Holy Spirit there on 8 years old. And I was, I didn't understand it. I just knew that there was something different. And I felt different. Even at the times that I, was going through whatever I went through, drugs, whatever. I never felt disconnected. Maybe because I had a prayer grandmother, maybe because I had a praying mother, maybe, my dad, my siblings, whatever. I always felt connected. I never felt disconnected. So as an adult, of course you go off and you do your thing. I've done my thing. Everybody's been out here doing whatever they want to do to call growing up. You got your pains, you had your children, you had your marriages, you had this and that. But I never felt disconnected. But there was something missing in my life that I knew when I was out there in the streets and not going to church, I was missing something. So I'll never forget it. 17 years ago, it was 17 years ago when I went to Word of Faith Love Center, and I already had joined before that back up. I was there when Pastor Burners was there, but when I came back, Pastor Garman was there. And I was sitting over, my church, there's a little 4 sections. There's like one on the side, middle. But on this section, I will never forget it. I was standing there, and Pastor Garman was preaching, and something hit me. And I met God again. And not that I met him there. I felt him there. I knew he was there. I feeling of when I was 8 years old, that feeling of knowing, that knew
that comforting
feeling was there.
Yeah.
And I could like relate to everything that was being ministered to me. Also, the Holy Spirit was there and covering me. So of course I knew, I said, this is where I'm going to be. This is the church. It wasn't, and I realized this when I started going. I said, it was different than just going to church. It was like I was going on a date with God. I was meeting him on Sunday mornings, and it was like I had to take out, because see, you see it so much in church. You could talk about the church hurt. You see people doing things that it's not like, and they show you who they are, all kinds of stuff. You go through that type of feelings. But when I look at going to church, I never looked at church as people. I look at it's like I'm on my date with my Father. And I can, it's like, I even, people come to me, I love your praise. It's not that even I'm in a praise, I'm on a date. I can speak to him. I can, be in one with him at that time. All the distractions throughout the day, week, I meet with God every day. I pray with him in the morning. My best friend can tell you, I minister, I sing, I'm all in the morning, but there's still distractions and things going on. I have to get ready to go to work. I got to get this, I got to do that. But when I'm in church, from the time I walk in that door, I feel the connection. It's even better. I don't just look at, I'm here because I'm trying to be part. No, granted, I love everybody. I'm a love-on-it person. If you know me, I love you. I love on you. Because I love people. I'm a people person. I love to make people laugh. I love to give joy. And that characteristics came from the dates that I'm having with Jesus and the characteristics I have with Jesus. I want to pattern myself after something I'm going to do and act the way that person do and act. And what better person to mimic but Jesus and his characteristics. So it makes it easy for me when I come in to be in his presence at that time. It makes it easy for me because I'm patterned myself after something that I love so deeply. I don't just come to church just to come to church. I get up there and I would minister. I don't care if I work on the dance ministry, just sewing stuff, putting the flags together. If I'm up on this choir stand and I'm singing to him, the words.
Pure of heart.
Pure of heart.
And
it's like I go where he takes me. And I was speaking to several people. Even I talked to Yvonne. She was like, I can't get out of the hurt part. And I'm gonna let her go ahead on and explain that, because I understand this part, and then I want to talk about the hurt part. But guys, tell them about the hurt part. How you feel.
So for me, and don't get me wrong, because anybody that knows me knows that me and God, we like what? I talk every day, all day long. But sometimes when it comes to the church, and there'll be different things, but one major thing can set me off and I'll step back. And I know that that's generational things. And the reason why I say that is for people who know my story and some who don't know my story. So I was pregnant at an early age, church turned their back on me. When I saw some people that were in need and they went to the church, and before the church would help them, they told them that they had to be a member. But these people been living in this community over 30 some odd years, and this church had only been there for like 5 or 6 years in that community. Seeing where church sometimes became more of a fashion show than the way that I grew up in the church, going out in the neighborhoods, making sure that the elderly in the neighborhood were good, cutting the grass, washing cars, just giving back, your ministry, just doing different things, singing in the choir and truly enjoying it and loving it and having fun with the things that was going on. But then as I got older, I started to see more of the behind the scenes. And I started to get frustrated and disillusioned with it. And without putting everything out there, one particular New Year's Eve, someone near and dear to me was going to sing and worship, and it got kicked back. Like, what got on, whatever. And she left. But she came back. Now, me, on the other hand, I was livid. Because how was someone of such a pure heart that's only there to worship and serve God, would you react this way? And there was absolutely nothing, in all caps with an exclamation, that was wrong with her attire. But yet, I was pissed off. I was so mad. If anybody would have got in front of my car, I probably would have ran all of them over who had the hand in saying things. And I was so full. I was asking God, I said, Lord, please take this from me. Please take this from me. Please take this from me. And my BFF said to me, I'm fine. I'm just going to worship. I will not allow this to stop me from doing what I told God I was going to do and what I wanted to do. Now, me, I'm still a work in progress. God is still working with me. I tell people all the time, 5 times anger management, 1 time counseling. So it takes me sometimes a little time to get there. I don't go all of the time, because a good portion of times these days I'm GMA. I am at the games and everything. But when I do have time, and I say when I do have time, or those days permit, I am going to start coming back to church, because I do miss it. But when you got church hurt mixed in there, sometimes it can kind of taint the relationship with the church, but it has never tainted my relationship with God.
That's the thing.
Never.
That's the thing. Sometimes we allow people, the way they, there's many more people that is there that you're there to serve with, or you never know who is watching. Your life should not be in vain. You should always lead with example when you praising God. You know God, his greatness. Them people that hurt you in the church was not there when God brought you out of that issue.
You're right.
He wasn't, it was you and God. So when you start focusing, you taking your eyes off of the reasons why you're there, and putting it on the people, of course you're going to leave. Turnover rates in the church is so awful now. How?
Yeah.
I remember when we were in church. Me and Keisha, one of the young ladies who came on, we was sitting down talking. We was literally on the phone talking about the family members that we had in our church. Ain't nobody got up and moved out and left the church. We were family. The family. And we stayed with each other. We took care of each other. But nowadays, nobody want to stay anymore because they so busy looking at the people. God is there. Like, he meets you everywhere you go, and you can't even meet him at the church where we all worship together. The church should be full now. It really should be. We went through COVID, and he still kept us. I didn't get COVID until afterwards, but the COVID that I got, I don't know if I don't know. I don't think it was as strong as the COVID that these people was dealing with in the beginning, because I went through it and I got through it, and I'm here. And I am just so in awe, because we're here thinking that what we're going through, or what we're going through with people, is our reasons for going to church. Oh, they don't like us anyway. It's not. That's not your reasons. Is for the relationship you're gaining as a Christian, or whatever nationality you are, church or synagogue or whatever. It's not about the people. Jesus led us on this route all through the New Testament on, how to love each other, how to be there for each other. But the main thing he was about was his Father's business. Mm-hmm. His Father's business. And what is your business, as a Christian? Is to treat others as you want them to be, as you want to be treated, which a lot of us in the church don't understand that. But we can't change nobody, but we can understand why we're going to church. I'm in a relationship with God. I ain't in no relationship with these people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. We become siblings, sisters, and brothers by default because the Christ that you serve is the same one I serve, and the God that you know is the God that I know, and we all coming into the building. Once we leave the building, it's, some of us don't even see each other until the next Sunday or whatever the reason we maybe meetings or whatever, but we don't really, a lot of us don't even socialize after we leave the church. So what is our reasons for not wanting to go? We always got these reasons. It's always people. God wants us to be real. He wants us to be real. Are you here for me or are you here for the people?
Right.
Are you here to serve me? Am I good enough for you to serve me? Am I good enough for you to come into my building and serve me and not worry about what everybody else feeling and thinking? Because truth being told, what they feel and think is only about what they see in you or of you. They don't know about you. They just trying to run something, and most of them don't even know what they do.
Exactly.
Exactly. We really need to be truthful about why we go to church, and what is our reasons for going? Are we going because because of the people? We want to be seen. We want to be heard. What is our reasons? Why aren't we going to church?
Yeah.
Why aren't we in there? Especially who's the ones that say we know God? Maybe your testimony, like anybody else, everybody don't know what you're going through.
That's right.
You can feel that you're going through something, whether it's good or bad, because your praise shows that.
Yeah. Because I'll be honest, when I got to the point of being honest about why I wasn't going, and I'm gonna tell you something, like Marina said, she and I we had these conversations, and I would sometimes say some things to her that'll put her into a situation, make her pause and think and reflect on it, and she'll do me the same way. And one day she said to me, she said, "Can I ask you a question?" And everybody know that's been watching this show, I hate those words coming from her because it is going to be one of, and that sometimes if I'm not ready for it, I don't want to deal with it. I say no, no, you cannot, no, you cannot, and we retreat and go to separate corners until we're ready to hear the other one out. But she asked me, she said, "When was the last time you've been to church?" I said, "Oh." She said, "I know." I said, "Oh Lord, here we go." I said, "Here we go," and she said, "I'm just asking." She said because and that's when she started talking to me and explaining to me about. She said, "I go." She said, "I have a date every Sunday morning." She said, "I have a date with God." She said, "I'm not there for the people. I'm not there." She said, "He uses me to share my love and my ministry, and if you guys ever see her when she's singing and worshiping and everything, it's real. I mean, it is so very real." And she said, "And I stopped worrying about everybody else and the inner workings and everything else that's going on." She said, "When I'm dating God, I am devoting my time and my attention to Him." And I had to go back, and like I said, I really had to go back and think. I thought on that for like a few days, and I did. And I had a conversation with God, and He's working on me. Like I said, I am a work in progress. But until she said it that way, and I honestly and earnestly addressed what my issues were, I couldn't even think straight or even begin the healing process. I couldn't. But now that I'm releasing some things and I'm ready to start going back. That's why I said when on Sundays and stuff when I don't have early games and things of that nature, you'll see me in church. That's my goal. So I'm just telling people, address whatever issues and concerns that you have regarding the church so it's not tainting your relationship with God.
I mean, your church is your building. Everybody said the church is in you. The church is that. I get that. You know, it is. It's everywhere. Wherever you bring your church. But what about the other people? God didn't just have his gifts and held on to them. He gave them away. And if you serving God and allowing people to hear your testimony, to see your praise and worship, believe me, it's about the other people. It's not always about you. You know, I mean, it's not. It's about you because you got to get the message out. And how much do you love God to realize that wherever he brought you through, all he asked you to do is come and praise and worship him and give him a couple of hours and show the love to his other family, to his family, all the sisters and brothers and children that's in that building. You know, the church should be full. It should be where people understand, you know, I'm the way. I'm the truth. I'm the light. Not man is the way. Man is the truth. Man is like, no, it's not that way. Man ain't anything. We only allow man to do and get away with what we allow them to do, because in truth, you know, some things we feel about man is not even, they have issues in themselves. They just, you know, there's cover-ups. You know, I'm a leader. You got to do what I say. No, it's not. You're not leading the church. God is leading the church. He's allowing you to do the stuff you're doing.
Right.
But you will be revealed. I'm just going to be honest. However you think you hiding, he see you. You ain't in no closet. It's just some people just scared to open up their mouth and say something. But I sympathize over the people who let those type of things separate themselves from the love of God when it comes to being where, you know, the church, you know. I just love God so much, whereas, like I said, on Sunday mornings, I'm ready. I get up and get out there. I'm ready, and knowing I'm going to worship with him. I'm doing something that I know that will help my life, because I'm a single person. I don't have, it's me and God. That's my man. That's my man. Man, Zachary, you put this book up here. I don't even know if we can show this. Let's see how much we can show. Jesus. Okay, y'all gonna have to read this, because he has it's a lot and it's true. I love what you were saying. The root of foundation of the church is Acts 4:32. Now the company of the believers was of one heart and soul, and no one of them claimed that anything belonging to him was exclusively his own, but everything has common property and for the use of all. 33. And with great ability and power, the apostles were continuously testifying to the resurrections of Lord Jesus and great grace. God remarkable, your kind, love and kindness, favor and good wisdom rested richly upon them all. 34. There was not a needy person among them, because those who were owners of lands or houses was selling them and bringing the proceeds of the sales. 35. And placed the money down at the apostles' feet. Then it was distributed to each as anyone had needed. 36. Now Joseph and Levi and the native of Cyprus, who was surnamed Barnabas by the apostles. Well, this, I think I got through the whole thing, but this was all in Acts. I got you. What he's telling you about the church. He's telling you the duties of the church and how people basically, when they came to church, they brought their belongings to the church. We took care of each other. You know, it's our duty to, you know, as Christians, as to come to church and be and be of service, give of service, and realize that you are helping others. Some people are gifted in this and don't have this. We all come together like a puzzle, and we come together into this church, and whatever church you're going to, whatever the nationality is, and we help one another. Zachary, you got this whole thing. Let me see. Let me see, Robbie. Robert, I don't go because I believe I have my own personal relationship with my God. I just don't believe anyone can make me understand the meaning of his words. You wouldn't know you wouldn't know that if you don't go and try. God gonna put you with. Let me say something to you. Of course, you're there, and you're gonna do what works for you. But no matter what, God is going to put the people, the words, the needs that you go into the church and find out first. Sometimes if you block it out and think that your reasons for not being there is a good reason instead of trying it, it's not a thing of your will when you go into a church. God wants you to know. He wants to give this to you. But you got to be a willing soul to want it. You don't understand now because you ain't going. You ain't doing the steps to get there. How do you not, you don't think, and thinking comes from not knowing, until you allow yourself to be open to learning this. God ain't gonna, no way he's not going to give you what you need. He's going to give you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Yes. The whole Bible is 66 love stories. And if you learn and read them, they all have a message. It's a message where God is. And if you're a Christian knows, he knows Jesus talked in metaphor. And one reason why he talked in metaphor, because he knew only the ones who knew God and know what he's talking about is the Christian. They know you. You know what he's talking about. You understand what he's talking about. And that goes with anything. If you want it, you're gonna get it. You want it, you won't get it. You can, so if you sitting at home watching it on TV, and you get more understanding of it than you do when you go into the building, it's not even always about you. Stop. If you take it off of you and start putting it on, why God got you out here, then you'll understand it's not about you. And what you want to learn, he's going to teach you. He's the mighty teacher. He's the teacher. He mows the clay. He teaches everything. We goes through life. You gotta go. You gotta do it first before you gotta go in there. That's my opinion. That's my bag. I'm not trying to change anybody's minds, but I know that it works if you work it, like they say in the rooms. But you got to keep coming. You got to keep going. If you want it, consistency. Yeah. You can't go in there and listen to some pastor that might not hit you at where you need at that time, and then everybody else after that is compared to that, because there's many ministers out here that touches souls and people in many different ways. What do you want? Ask them, be specific on what you want. What do you want to learn? What is it that you think that you need to know? What words in your mind that you want him to clarify?
Yeah. And let me say this PSA announcement. We're not saying that you guys I don't have to walk like Marvina. She doesn't have to walk like me. We don't have to walk like some of our viewers or anybody like that. What we are simply trying to get across to you is how important it is to have that relationship with God. Marvina said something that's important that I don't think everybody may have heard or truly paid attention to. The church, you are really the church. The church is inside of you. You don't always have to be inside of the church to have and form that relationship. What she was saying for her is that she has a date with God every Sunday. She talks to him continuously throughout the week, but it's just like in your just like in your natural life. You may have a date with your spouse. You may have a date with your with your friend. You may have a date with your BFF. You may have a date with your siblings. We call those date nights and girls' night and boys' night out and things of that nature. So what she is trying to convey is, why not start establishing a set time to where there are no distractions, that you can just give to God.
Get your feeding.
Just
get fed. When you go out on a date, when normally you take someone out, I'm old fashioned. You go and you have you take you and get you your food. You might go out to a restaurant, go to the movies. You got that in the church. He feeds your soul. And through watching the ministers and the praise and stuff, you get a whole show. You even get to talk a language with him that no one else knows. Unless you can discern in tongue. You get to go into a place where, no one knows internally, not just work like you do. Everybody see you at work, at home, everybody see you at work. At home, everybody see you out there. But when you in church, God see you on the inside. You working from the inside on out. Okay, it's like a date. It's like going to a sauna and going into that room and allowing something to bask into your soul. And I can't explain it, but I'm just telling you, if you want it, it works. It's way you see your God of your understanding. And for me, every Sunday when I get up and go to church and bask, my rest of my week is really good. It's tolerable when on them days where I'm feeling some kind of way, because at least I got that feeding on Sunday to start off the week. Because Sunday starts the week. Everybody say Saturday, but Saturday and Sunday is the weekend, but Sunday starts off the week. So what's a good thing to do when you're starting off your week from your Sunday to Sunday? Sunday starts off the week. I don't care what everybody say, but that Sunday, you start your week off and you get fed. And you constantly know that he's with you even outside of church or whatever. And you have that connection. But when you able to get into his spirit without anybody, you can just be as crazy as you want in church, and because that's what he loves to know, that you are putting him first. Not just a by the way every day, or first thing Sunday morning. Come on now, yeah, girl.
That's right.
I love God. I love God, and I'm rooting. And I'm asking and praying that more people stop worrying about the people part of the church and worry and know that God is there. Especially if you got a good Bible-based church, and know that God is there. And when you walk in there, you basking in his presence, and come on now. I said from 18 on over up in here, so I'm gonna say it. It's better than sex. Oops, I said sex. Good morning.
It's a long-lasting feeling.
It's a great feeling. To know God is where you are at that moment. At that time. He giving you, girl, please.
And you can take it with you and share. I remember being at the rental car place.
Yes.
And things went so smoothly, and I turned and I said, sometimes, to God be the glory. And the lady turned. She said, I needed to hear that this morning. Yes. See, that's how God's love is. Yes. It becomes infectious.
And
I can't move and start my day without holding a conversation with him and saying, thank you, Father, for waking me up this morning. Let me tell you about my thoughts. And that's the way I go. That's the way I started off.
Yeah. I got a question though. I know a lot of people go to church, and they feel the church, and I'm saying this. How many of you who don't really go to church, when they get around people, do they bask in his presence around people? Are you bold enough to talk about God and to other people? Are you able to, or do you see God throughout the day? Because let me say something, because I get fed every Sunday, it keeps me fed throughout the week. So I can see his glory in my everyday walk when I'm dealing with the seniors and making them smile, and any of those things. I can see God in all of that. So when you're not fed when you're not given that feeding that you longing, that's saying that you don't want, how is your life throughout the week? How is your life throughout the month? How is your life right now? I mean, you know, we got church songs and we got stuff on TV and stuff. We've been watching TV all our lives. TV is something, and when you start watching stuff on TV, it's exactly what it is. You get inspired. But what if you sitting there and all in the church and here come your kids come running around and stuff? What? That's a distraction. So it's not like you giving God 100 of your time at that time, because you believe it or not, outside you're getting distracted. It's distractions. Mm-hmm. But when you're in church and you're basking in his presence and you're there dating him on Sunday morning, most of the time the distractions is nothing more than, you know, you being right there, unless you one of the ones that's in the pulpit out there and watching everything. You know, you can get distracted in church. But if you in there for one reason and one reason only, and that's to give God his glory, give him, you know, all that, you know, that you've been through, and giving it back to him, you know, whether you're crying because you're going through, or you're crying because he's brought you through, or you're crying because you in it right now, or whatever your reasons for being there, you know, he wants to know. He ain't oblivious to it throughout the week, but at that moment, or that hours that you're there, I think he understands more that you're more grateful than ever. It's just you and him. It's not you, him, in the world. You're there with him. So that's my take on that's my take on what's in my bag about church. You know, I told you I'm doing this BFF, and I'm grateful that you gave me the idea to, you know, talk about that, because
I think it's a great topic, because when I'm out and about, 90% of what comes out of my mouth is gratefulness. We were on the phone. I was on the phone yesterday talking to a lady, and she said, "Well, I'm so glad that you're doing better. How do you feel and everything?" I said, "Every time that I have gotten sick and went into the hospital, God has allowed me to walk out. And when I tell you what a tremendous and glorious blessing that is." And I said, I enjoyed, I live for, because I know that God is saying he's giving me another day, another opportunity. There is no reason for me to be down, sad, or I don't care what I'm walking out of there with or what I got going on. God allowed me, he allowed me to go in to get the help that I needed. And he's allowing me to walk out of here. Well, some people can't. I am that type of person because of my relationship with God. It can be the worst situation in that moment. I'm going to find something in that positive to bring out of, because I know what God said. I know our conversations, I know our relationship and things of that nature. And at the end of the day, all Marvin and I are saying is get a good relationship with God. The God of your understanding.
Fine. You know, I'm just saying, for me, it's if you left church, find your way back into church. Find a real reason why you left. And if you're leaving church and you're feeling that this is the issue, you know, realize that people are going to be people, and you can't change people.
Yeah.
And the ones that don't go to church at all, you know, I'm telling you, there's great things in church. You know, there's so much going on in church that if you keep your focus on God and what he wants you to do to serve in the church, it ain't about your money. It is about your time. It's about your service. It's about how you perceive him. He wants to know how you see him, not how you see other people. Your relationship with him, not your relationship with people. You can have a relationship with people, you know, all the time, but you can't give him a couple of hours, a couple of years, a little bit of time.
Yeah.
No, that's my theory on it.
Yeah. And what I learned, my lesson from my reflection when the question was posed to me is, I was thrown back to several years before my BFF told me, don't you ever allow anybody to knock you off your square. And I allowed other people to knock me off of my square in that aspect. Never my relationship with God. but it put me to a place of, you know what, she right. If I ever decide to say, I'm not going to church anymore, that's going to be my choice and my decision, not because somebody I feel like pissed on my cornflakes and told me I had milk, and I left for those reasons. It's going to be reasons and choices that I make, not out of anger and frustration.
Mm-hmm. No, just I'm encouraging people. Let's look at your reasons for doing anything and be serious and be truthful to yourself when it comes down to why you actually go to church and why you don't go to church. Now, if you don't, that's fine too. I'm not saying go. I'm saying to you, truthful. God dates us, and it comes to us wherever we at, no matter the way what it is. But I'm just telling you my truth. My truth is I date my God in church on Sunday. I love to worship him. I like to praise him. I like to give him all that I have, even through each tear. I don't know, half the times, it don't have to be one particular reason why I'm crying. It don't have nothing to do with I'm sad or happy or what else those things. I'm at peace knowing that my God has accepted me and forgave me and allowing me to come into his presence, to give him and worship him, not because I'm such a good person, not because I'm without sin. I'm graced through that. I'm great. He graced me, and that's a wonderful feeling. When being chosen and being connected by God. So that's where I'm at today. I love him. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love and I love what I do. Everything that I do is always I think about other people before I even I react to it or I do it. I think about it. Believe me, I think and I realize that if I'm patterning myself after Christ because I'm a Christian, I have to learn how to be a Christian. And what better way to learning how to be a Christian is to go amongst the Christians and become part of what God has put together.
That's right.
Together. That's the only way you're going to be a Christian. You can say you're a Christian all day and you don't pattern yourself after Christ. You're a fraud. You're a fraud. You're a fraud. And I'm just being real. And it's not always, I just don't want to go there. I just don't want to do this and I can't get this and I can't get that. Because now I, and that's when you become selfish. You're fishing for self. What about others? How are you looking at the people that you might sit by in that pew that might see you raise your hand and they never raised their hand before and they get the courage because you sitting next to them to raise their hand or to say hallelujah or they see you serving and they never even thought about, wow, you know what? They giving their gift back to God. I think I want to do that too. Or you being you, and that's a leader. You're leading by example. You're teaching people that even through your circumstances. And a great person, one of my choir director, he said this. One thing about Christians, we have to praise our way through.
Yes.
Even when we feeling down and out, we still come to church and praise our ways through because we know at that point that God has it. And what better way to give back to God than give him praise and come into church? I mean, he give you everything.
That's right.
Sit there and look at yourself right now, and if you can't think of a blessing right now in this second, you're not grateful. You're not grateful enough.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And a good person said that to me too. I'm just saying, I don't go to church because I ain't gonna do this because I received that as a way of just, a way of not showing it's a cop out. That's the way I receive it, Seek God and ask him where he wants you to be. If it may not be that church, maybe be somewhere you have to give back before you get. And that's one way.
Right.
That's the best way.
That's right.
It's the best way. I am so happy y'all was here with us today. What time is it?
Yes. It is 9:55.
I am so. Hey, can I ask you a question? How about that Titanic? How about that? How about that sub? That's the sub.
Girl, that little soda pop can.
I just have to put that in there because
I pray for the people that was on board. My God, but they didn't. Okay, that's a whole nother conversation.
I'm sorry, I didn't even get all this. I didn't even see all the people. You are already knowing that I talk about him and about. Oh yes, brother, I know. See. Mm-hmm. Let me say something about what we speak about here. If it strikes somewhere, a spark somewhere, maybe there's inventory time. I'm not changing. I know. Most of the people know. I know that we feel that what we doing in church and what we do all day about God is the right way. But sometimes what we feel is not always the right way. We got to see God first to see, okay, this is kind of sparking something. Maybe I need to look at something. I need to inventory something. I'm not trying to change nobody's thinking. I'm not here to take what's in my bag and put it in your bag because your bag is full of what you have to. I'm just saying, we just come out to talk about things for awareness on, why people feel and thinking the way they feel and think, and our common denominator in it. Because that's mine. That's hers. That's Yvonne's. Mm-hmm. Yvonne had an issue and we talked about it and we felt that this would be something good to talk about everybody else. We're not here to tear nobody down. If you in your space, I'm good with your space. If you good where you at, I'm good where you at too. But I just, we just want to deliver a message. God giving us messages to give out to you, and that's what we're here for. That's all that is. Thank you. There's a lot of you.
And maybe we'll revisit this in a couple of weeks. Have a continue the discussion. In fact, that's what we'll do. We'll put this on our calendar because it's a very, very good topic. Yeah. So we'll put this on our calendar and readdress this again. In 2 weeks. So that's what we'll do.
We're gonna redress this because and maybe y'all do a little bit something different. I want to hear somebody say, "Yeah, I went to church and guess what?" I get it. I understand, and we're here for a purpose. Everybody's here for a purpose. I want to thank everybody for being a part of What's in the Bag, or being a part of this, And if y'all know anybody who may want to share the love, or you might need some of this we giving out, please tell them to come on and join our group. We got the Facebook What's in the Bag. Just join the group. It's something fun. Put some comments in there. Talk about some things. Let us know what's in your bag. I would love to hear from you or what's in the bag. If you feel that there's some need that you need to talk about, because see, like this right here, this was just a conversation me and Yvonne had. We just had this conversation. Right. We knew that was a need, so we put it out there. And now look at it. And I'm hoping and praying that it bless somebody. I'm praying that it bless somebody. Also, if you watch YouTube, if you're not a Facebook fan, YouTube, you go ahead on and do YouTube. That's What's in the Bag 21. Also, Twitch. If you like Twitch and game, we come on live on Twitch. How about that? That's What's in the Bag 21. Also, if you want some laughs, you want to get on the fun hat side of my ability, because I like to make people laugh, come on and look for me on TikTok. I'm at Marvina Clay. Look at them. Don't judge me. I just like to have fun. Don't judge me. All right, girly girl. You know what? We kind of getting over time today. You got something you want to say to us?
Yeah, let me say this to you guys. Let's keep the conversation. When we sign off, we're still on, if that makes sense. What's in the Bag is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Go online, post your comments. We will respond to them. And today, enjoy as always. Get out there and enjoy life. Yeah. And stay blessed. Be a blessing and have a blessed day.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Put stuff on the comments, and I didn't speak. Wish people go back. Y'all go back and comment. Go back and talk to the people that commented. You might have something you need to say to them, because we're here not for just for ourselves. We're here for you, and y'all there for each other. It's a family. Let's do this the right way. You know what I'm saying? I love y'all. I love y'all. God bless y'all. And y'all have a wonderful Saturday. I'm ready to go chill out with my sissy. Hey, Rhonda, here I come, sissy. I love you. See y'all later. Have a blessed day. Kisses. Hey.
Bye, everyone.